Welcome to the video, everyone. Today's video is going to be a question and answer video. And really quick, if you're curious where these questions are coming from, they come from Instagram. So I'll drop my info down here somewhere. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go do that right now because I'm pretty active on my stories. And when I do these sort of call outs and ask for these types of questions, that's where you'll see those notifications. Anyway, lots going on. Really quick, a few updates before I get into these questions. Lots of questions, and thank you in advance to everyone who sent in questions. There's a lot of good ones. What's happening? Really quick, my car's in the shop. Kind of sucks, but it's all going to be covered under warranty. It would have been about $3,500 if this thing was not covered under warranty. They need my car for a few days, so I'm driving around this loaner Volvo. I forget what it is. It's like a T5. I forget. Anyway, so hopefully I'll have my car back in the next day or so. Next weekend, what's today? Today's Friday, June 9th. I'm gonna put this video up on YouTube tomorrow, Saturday. But next weekend, I'm having a little meetup over here. And I'm very excited for that. That's gonna be a really good weekend. It's gonna be a long weekend. I've got a buddy coming into town, Dave. Dave, if you're watching, can't wait for you to be here. I've known Dave virtually over the internet for probably 3 or 4 years, I would say. When I do my YouTube lives, Dave would be my moderator, so I trust Dave, but we've never met in person. He's flying out for this weekend, or next weekend, the 17th, the Saturday of June 17th. He's gonna be here for like 4 days, so I'm really excited to meet Dave, hang out with Dave. There's gonna be a lot of people in town for this event that I'm putting on. It should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I will try to make a video showing all the festivities of the meetup. So look out in the future for that video. Should be a really good time. But anyway, so let's get into these questions, and I will try not to ramble too much and linger on each question like I normally do. All right, first question. Do you do manicures and pedicures? No. I think I've done maybe 2 pedicures in my entire life, and I've done exactly 1 manicure because I got talked into it and I didn't like it. My fingernails ended up like really glossy. They did like a buff thing to it that I really did not like. I don't want shiny fingernails. But the pedicure thing was kind of cool. I enjoyed that experience. But yeah, I think I've done like maybe 2 of them in my entire life. All right, coming in next, what color and style shoes are your go-to favorite other than white sneakers, of course? So yeah, white sneakers. I mean, look, I live in Southern California. It's getting into summertime. I'm wearing white sneakers quite a bit. White sneakers with a white sole and also white sneakers with a gum sole. But I'm getting into loafers a lot lately. Loafers are kind of a hot thing right now. But these are from Jay Butler. I recently did a video about these guys. I know Justin, the owner of this company. Really good quality shoes. And these are kind of neat because I don't know if you can see, but they're perforated, so those holes go right through. So I'm wearing those a lot. I'm also wearing these a lot, again from Jay Butler. Another alternative to sneakers are these brown and white ones. These are from Express. I'll put links to stuff down below for you guys, but these are from Express. They're faux leather, but they're really comfortable and they're inexpensive. But I just got these from Thursday, blue and whites. I got a video coming out pretty soon, so I'll be talking more about these, but these are, I don't have anything quite like this. So I'm digging these. Okay, Aaron is asking, have you vacationed in Canada? If yes, where? No, I really haven't. I've been to Vancouver a few times. I grew up in Seattle, so I've been to Vancouver and BC. But I've seen a lot of stuff on Banff. Is that how you pronounce it? Banff? Banff? Anyway, that seems like a really neat place. I think there's some like hotel there with some really nice golf course. It looks cool. I would love to go check that out. Favorite whiskey, favorite cigar. I like rye whiskey. So I don't know if you guys know Gents Lounge. George at Gents Lounge, he partnered with these guys and made this really nice whiskey. I don't know a ton about whiskey. I need to learn more about whiskey and that type of thing. I did go to this like tasting class seminar thing that Old Forester hosted, and it was really interesting. There was like 5 different types of whiskey and bourbon that we got to taste and pair with food, and it was really interesting. And the guy that was there was a rep from Old Forester, and he talked about how they grow their own trees and they've got this manufacturing facility where the wood that they grow turns into the barrels that they make. And I think he said that their production facility where they make barrels, they can make up to 2,500 barrels a day. And he said not only that, which is an amazing number, but 90% of those barrels go to Jack Daniels, which is another one of their brands under their corporate umbrella. And that kind of tells you how big Jack Daniels actually is. So I like rye whiskey. I'm not like a big whiskey guy, but I've got these two at the house. I enjoy doing smoked old fashions. I got like a smoker kit, and that's kind of nice. Cigars, I don't really know. I just go, I've got this one sitting around. I don't know if that's any good or not. It's, what does it say? It's $15.95. I spent 16 bucks for this. I don't know a ton. There's a smoke shop right down the hill, and I'll just go into the humidor and like pick stuff out. I'll buy like 2 or 3 at a time, and within about, oh, telephone. Anyway, so I will go pick up a few cigars at a time, like 2 or 3. That'll last me about, a week or two, probably about 2 weeks or so. I've had this one kicking around for about a week. So it all depends. I don't really have a favorite. I've done a few promos for La Aurora, and those are really good when they send me stuff for the videos. I'll, go out in the back and have those cigars, and those are really good. But I don't really have a favorite, so to speak. Love your video on how to pose on a photo. Ever think about doing another one? Additional tips. Yes, I need to do a follow-up video on that one. I get comments pretty regular about, hey, where's part 2? You said you were gonna do part 2. Let me work on that. Favorite guitar player? I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a product of the 80s and 90s. So, that's when I really connected with music, and more specifically, metal and rock music and, arena bands and hair bands and all that stuff. So Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, those types of guys were, doing things a little bit different and were, pretty popular back in the day. But I don't really have like a favorite guitar player, so to speak. But yeah, any quality guitar player from the 80s and 90s, that's going to be one of my favorites, I would say. Oh, and one more, Joe Satriani. I forget what the album was called, but I bought his album, whatever it was. I think it was like a red. If I find it, I'll put it here on the screen. But yeah, Joe Satriani. Okay, here we go. Camaro or Trans Am? Camaro. My very first car was a Camaro. 1977 LT. It had a 305 small block V8. It wasn't very fast, but for me at the time, it was a hot rod. I tried to modify it, ended up screwing the whole thing up. But anyway, Camaro. Next question, should I match leather shoes to belt, to watch strap, or is there a better way? Wear a bracelet. Just wear a stainless steel bracelet, and then you don't have to worry about matching everything to your watch strap. If you want to do it correctly, and if you're doing something, say, formal, then yes. Technically, you should match the shoes to the belt, to the watch strap, like all your leathers should match. A lot of guys, your metals should match. Gold ring, gold watch, that kind of thing, gold cufflinks. If you want to be particular about it, then that's what I would say. But if you're doing something casual, it doesn't matter. If you're doing something formal and elevated where it should probably matter, then it matters. Okay, great question. Did you ever think about your own brand? I spend lots of money on your suggestions. Thank you, that helps. And maybe a video on sponsorships. I know I do a lot of sponsored videos. I know that I do that. And maybe there's another video where I talk a little bit about why that is and some of the back end of running the whole YouTube thing and how that all works and why I do what I do. Just so you guys can have some transparency to be able to see what's going on back here. Anyway, thank you for supporting the brands that support my channel. I really appreciate that. Yes, I've thought a lot about starting something. I've dipped my toes in the water a couple times and nothing really worked out. So we'll see. Yes, I've thought about it, and yes, I'm still thinking about it, and yeah, hopefully soon. Now this one kind of parlays off the last one a little bit. What are your suggestions for passive income? Is YouTube your only venture? I know it's not. Well, it is. At the moment, the current moment, right now, YouTube and the surrounding peripherals that go around, YouTube and affiliate kind of stuff with Amazon and brand deals and sponsorships and things like that. Yeah, the YouTube umbrella, I would say, it's my full-time job. It is a full-time job, especially for one guy to kind of handle everything. I don't have any assistants. I film my own videos. I write my own scripts. I do my own research. I edit my own videos. I handle pretty much everything. So right now, YouTube is my full-time and only source of revenue. But going back to the last question about having another revenue stream, such as maybe like a brand or something, that is on the radar. Oh man, I love this one. Any over 40 car clubs out there? I've been getting into modding my Honda. So you're speaking my language, man. When I first got into racing years ago, mid 90s, I was racing a Honda Civic. Like I modded Hondas. As far as over 40 car clubs, I don't know if there's anything really that specific with an age group to join a club. But what was one of the ones? Honda Tech. I think it was honda-tech.com. Look that one up. And then, any type of online forum community that talks about, Hondas, there's got to be a forum with like regions. So you find your region, and then I'm sure there's meetups and events and car clubs. What I did is I started autocrossing with, a group of buddies that were also autocrossing. Through that, I ended up joining car clubs. Start online, see what you can find. All right, really, really good question. How can I build a social life while respecting my spouse's preference to be a homebody? Conversation, man, conversation. When I got into racing, my wife at the time was kind of similar. She supported everything that I did. But she, also didn't have a whole ton of hobbies for herself. So my hobbies sort of became her hobbies, but she would rather probably stay home and I wanted to go do things. You just have to talk about it. It's like, you're doing the thing, you've got the Honda thing going. I think that was you. Yeah. So you're doing the car thing. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but have a conversation. See if she wants to join you in that. If not, see if she's okay with you doing that on occasion. Maybe on Saturdays is your day to go do the thing. Or if you want to be in the garage, make some time, set aside some time to be with her, and then set aside some time to be in the garage. You've got to work it out. And hopefully the two of you can come up with, some type of arrangement and agreement that works for the both of you. Hey, John, have you ever thought about growing the hair and beard out like you had it 4 years ago? Nah, man, that was a lot of maintenance. That was a lot. Looking back, the photos, I don't know, they look a little ridiculous. So it was definitely a look, but it was too much work. So I went back and forth whether to even include this question in this video because quite honestly, I don't have an answer for it. There's no way for me to answer this question. Let me read it to you. 6'4", what type of jeans should I wear? Jeans that fit you. I don't know. And look, I'm not trying to disrespect, this particular commenter, but like really think about it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know your body type. I don't know, if you're 350 pounds or if you're 150 pounds. So jeans that fit you. I talk about fit. Watch my videos. I talk about fit literally all the time. And I just made a video a few weeks ago talking specifically about fit. So it's all body type dependent, right? And it's frustrating to not be able to give answers because I get questions literally every day on YouTube, in my DMs, and in my email about what should I wear. And a lot of it is I don't have an answer. And it sucks and it affects me to not be able to answer, but I don't have an answer. So, and I apologize for that. All right, next question. What is your favorite wine? Pretty much all of it. I don't discriminate. I think someone asked a similar question in my last Q&A. I live 10 minutes from over 50 wineries here in the Temecula Valley. So, I'm a wine enthusiast. I've thought about going through the sommelier program. I just haven't done it yet. A buddy of mine, Scott, and I were talking about doing it. We just haven't committed to it yet. you have to pick when you sign up, you have to pick your test location in advance, and which is like 2 or 3 months out. So anyway, I think to answer the question, I think the wine that I drink the most is probably Sangiovese. Nice sort of clean, easy red wine. Now, I do like Pinot Noir. However, there are different Pinot Noirs from different regions. So we can't grow Pinot Noir here in Temecula Valley because it's too hot. Pinot Noir is a really fickle fruit, and it needs the right climate to be able to grow it really well, and it's just too hot here. It doesn't work. There are some Pinot Noir that I've recently had from one of the wineries here called Akash. They have a Pinot Noir that they source the fruit from Solvang. I forget, hang on. Okay, this is actually from Buellton. If I don't know if that's gonna focus or not on this, but anyway, I had this stuff, and it's one of the best Pinot Noirs I've had in a while. So it's a 2020. Akash is a local winery here, but since we can't grow Pinot Noir, they get the grapes from Central Coast. And it's really, really good. A lot of Pinot Noir has like this sort of funky, moldy, mushroomy, kind of stale funk to it. And a lot of people really like that. I like that as well. But this is super clean. It doesn't have a lot of that sort of, which can be somewhat off-putting, moldy, funky sort of cow manure. And I know that sounds gross, but that's a characteristic of Pinot Noir. And a lot of times it's really delicious. Like, you really like that. But this, it's really clean, it's bright, and it's approachable. A lot of people that don't like Pinot Noir, I've had try this from Akash, and they're loving it. Okay, back to the car questions. What was your first car that you owned? It was that Camaro, the 1977 Camaro. Yeah, that was my first car. Yeah, I ended up destroying it. I got T-boned. I was cruising away from high school. Someone came out, ran a stop sign, and T-boned me. I was okay, but the car was a total loss. Oh my gosh. What's your handicap? Currently, way up there. So I haven't, last weekend, some friends were in town, and this guy, Justin, and I went to play golf. So we just played 9 holes. It was awful. I haven't hit a golf ball in months, like 6 months. And before then, maybe a year. So I've kind of been out of the golf game for a while. So anyway, last weekend, it was horrible. It was struggle just to make contact. But when I was playing well, back when I was, early 40s, late 30s, early 40s, I was playing and practicing a lot. I don't know. I never kept. At the time I wasn't keeping my handicap anywhere, but I was single digit. I think I've shot some of my lowest rounds, 72, 76, 78, a bunch at 80, 81, that kind of stuff. But my best round, I would say my best round was 76 at Desert Canyon in Orondo, Washington, Eastern Washington. Beautiful golf course, man. When that thing was built, it was mind-boggling, this golf course. It's massive, it's long, and I had a good day out there, and I shot 76. I shot 72, but it was a smaller golf course. I've shot, some upper 70s, 78, 79s at some kind of local municipal. I think right out here, what did I shoot, 70, 78 out here? I live like 2 blocks from a golf course. I know, excuses. I live 2 blocks from a golf course and I don't play. But, it's just a kind of a local muni. But yeah, I used to be good. I'm just not anymore. Oh boy, Dave. Any new police chases through your backyard lately? No. So I'll put some video on the screen. This is what Dave's talking about. There was a car crash. There was a police chase. The suspect crashed his truck right over here and hopped the fence and disappeared in the neighborhood. So the police were sweeping everyone's yards, and one of my security cameras picked up the guys going through my backyard. Anyway, Dave, no. All right, Dave's asking another question. Podcast or music playlist in the car? Music playlist. I like music playlists. If I was maybe doing like a long road trip, I would tune into a podcast. And by the way, Dave has a podcast, a newer podcast. It's called Date Night with the Dolphins. Dave isn't asking me to, pimp out his new podcast, but I'll put a link to it down below. It's a good podcast. Generally, it's music. And I think it's that way so I can veg out and just let my mind wander and think about thoughts that I need to be thinking about, versus if I'm listening to a podcast, I'm involved in that. And a lot of times when I'm driving, I want to focus and think about things that are going on in my life. How often do you get a haircut, and do you have a video about your hair care products? I get a haircut about every 2 weeks. It grows pretty fast, and I'm fortunate and blessed that I still have all my hair and a lot of it. But yeah, about every 2 weeks about every 2 weeks, man. Really, honestly, I got a guy right down here that I go to, a friend of mine. He's been cutting my hair for like 6 years, so I go to that guy pretty much all the time. Michael at RMB Shave Parlor on Temecula Parkway. And do I have a video about hair care products? I've made a couple of videos, but it's been a while. I do have a video coming out in July, about a month from now, about a new hair product that may be good enough to beat my current stuff. We'll see. It's gonna take a lot to beat my current stuff that I normally use every day. This stuff is pretty good. You have to wait and see that video, coming out in about a month. All right, great question. Would you suggest Botox or fillers for men? I see some guys and they don't look right. I don't mind it. I really don't. And there's a video coming out next week where I talk about luxury items that are worth paying for. So in that video, I talk about cosmetic surgeries and things like that. So I've had Botox 2 or 3 times, maybe, and that was a long time ago. I don't have fillers. I don't, currently have Botox or anything like that. I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. There's been lots of things coming out about collagen replacement and microneedling and lasers, and there's a lot going on in the skincare industry, and a lot of it's really good stuff. And so anyway, I'm not against doing things to make you feel better and to make you look better if that's something that you feel like you need to do. A lot of people say I need fillers. If you can see, I need fillers under my eyes. I've thought about it. I haven't pulled the trigger on anything. One thing that I'm really afraid of with messing with my face is this. I'm on camera twice a week. So if I go get something done and make a video, you're gonna see it. Maybe I'll be bruised up or red or something. So I would have to build out like a month of content, right? Then have the thing done and then not film a video for like 2 or 3 weeks while I'm recovering. So that kind of throws a wrench in the whole situation, but I'm certainly not against it. Okay, another good question. I don't think I've seen you talk about this much, but what is your opinion on wearing hats? I get asked this question a lot. Make a video about hats. Make a video about hats. I know this about hats. I really don't know anything about hats. I really don't wear hats. I think I own 2 baseball hats, and I'm not an expert in that arena, so I don't feel qualified to make a video talking about hats, right? I would have to do a ton of research, but it would still feel sort of fake for me to come on and, I don't know, I'm not that knowledgeable in that arena. I know a lot of guys wear hats and a lot of guys look really freaking cool in hats. I'm just not an expert, so I don't feel qualified to really speak on that topic. Why do you like so much driving long distances? I've always liked driving. I've always loved driving. I've always loved cars. I've always loved interacting with the vehicle, the visceral experience. I'm not going to go on too much about this because I'm going to put a lot of you guys to sleep. I love driving. I have no problem 8 hours on the road, 10 hours on the road to go somewhere. No problem. I don't know. I love driving. Oh my God, Laura, Mentors or Steel Panther? So, Steel Panther, definitely Steel Panther. Mentors, you guys are gonna go Google it now. You're gonna look it up on YouTube. Go ahead, look up the Mentors on YouTube and get grossed out. This was a band that I was familiar with back in, gosh, the mid 80s. They're raunchy as hell, but go have fun. And also Steel Panther, like check them both out. But I would say, Laura, if I had to pick between the two, Steel Panther for sure. All right, did you do your seasonal video where we submit photos yet, or did I miss it? Thanks. No, haven't done it yet. I'm waiting for summer to finally get here. So maybe in July. I've got some openings in my schedule in July, so maybe mid-July, late July, we'll do another one. Stay tuned on the Instagram, because again, I'm gonna put those call outs on Instagram to send me your photos. Go to my Instagram, if you're not already, I'll put the info down here somewhere. Go to my Instagram and then turn on notifications, so when you're on Instagram and I have a story, it will show up in your feed and you can watch it. Anyway, where are you going on vacation this summer? I've got no plans, man. I've got no plans. Money's a little weird right now, so I'm kind of chilling out a little bit. You know, there's been a bit of a shakeup with brand deals and the economy and spending money, and it's slowing down. Things are slowing down, so I'm kind of just sort of waiting to see, kind of chilling out, being sort of cautious. I don't have any plans. I mean, if I do anything, I'll go to Palm Springs, or I'll sort of stay somewhat local. I still want to go do Big Sur. I want to go to Big Sur, Monterey, and go see that whole area. But yeah, no real plans to do anything major. All right, Tony, what's the worst job you've ever had? Worst job? I've had some awful jobs. So my first real job ever was washing dishes in a really big restaurant. I did that for a year and a half. And you know what minimum wage was back then? You guys, do you want to know how much money I made per hour? $3.35 an hour. That's how much I made. I worked that job for about a year and a half and couldn't take it anymore and walked out on the busiest day. I don't feel proud about that because I left them hanging. But anyway, yeah, that was one of my worst jobs. I dug ditches for a electric construction company. Did that for about a year. That was hard, horrible work in Seattle where it rains a lot. You're basically shoveling muck and mud. But yeah, those are some of my two worst jobs. Good question here. Are you considering having your own meetup group for men to get together and share tips? No, I'm not really considering it. However, it's a really good idea. Yeah, I don't have any plans on having my own meetup group. Do you mean like meetup on like the meetup.com website, or like a Facebook page or something like that? I'm just not into Facebook that much. I do have a few of my own 40 Over Fashion pages on Facebook that I don't do much with. And if you're in there and you're asking some questions and I haven't got back to you, I do apologize. There's just, like I said before, I'm a one-man operation and Facebook just is not my priority right now. But the meetup group sounds interesting. Obviously it'd have to be local here in town, but there's some other interesting ideas that I have for not so much networking events here in town, but more entertainment type events. Working on a couple things, so we'll keep you all posted. And that about wraps it up, everyone. Thank you guys so very much for submitting your questions. There was a lot that I didn't get back to, but we'll do it again. Let's do it maybe once a month or something. That would be kind of fun. I enjoy doing these. I don't get to script anything. It's just off the cuff, answering questions, and it's sort of, you know, interacting on a different level with all you guys. I like that. I like that a lot. So have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy, live well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.